Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and thank you for tuning in to Canal Algérie's nightly news. On to the headlines. Algeria takes over the presidency of the UN Security Council, and the permanent representative to the UN unveils the action plan to promote peace and security globally. Also in our news, a look back on the different measures taken by the Algerian government in 2024 to enhance the citizens' living conditions. The Makhzen occupier spares no effort to legitimize its illegal occupation of Western Sahara while turning a blind eye to its own citizens, victims of the 2023 earthquake. Welcome again. We begin with our country's major diplomatic achievement. Algeria is chairing the UN Security Council for this January, starting from yesterday. A presidency that is expected to shed light primarily on Arab and African issues, advocating for just causes, with Palestine and the fight against terrorism in Africa topping the agenda. In his speech, Algeria's permanent representative to the UN, Ammar Ben Jama, reaffirmed that Algeria will not give up back in Palestine in its fight. Let's listen.
أود في هذا المقام أن أذكر بما قاله رئيس الجمهورية السيد عبد المجيد تبون خلال خطابه الأخير أمام البرلمان الجزائري.
I would like to recall what President Abdelmajid Tebboune said in his recent speech before the Algerian parliament, which has been a guiding principle since Algeria began its membership in the Security Council and has been fighting for the Palestinian cause. Algeria will not abandon Palestine until it establishes its independent state with Al-Quds as its capital. As the president confirmed, we are with Palestine and with all oppressed peoples of the world, and we will continue to highlight their suffering. The catastrophic humanitarian situation in Gaza remains a priority for Algeria.
The same speaker called for the council to convene tomorrow to discuss the Zionist aggression on Gaza.
قمنا اليوم بالدعوة
Today we called for a Security Council meeting tomorrow morning to discuss the Zionist attacks on healthcare facilities in Gaza.
ضد المنشآت الصحية بغزة.
Representative to the UN gave a speech on the occasion of the appointment of new elected member states at the level of the Security Council, adding that the world is facing various threats on peace and security, notably in the Middle East and other areas in the world. That our responsibility now is to work tirelessly for peace and security to prevail globally.
It is an honor to address you today as Algeria assumes the presidency of the United Nations Security Council for this month of January. The world is facing many challenges that are threatening international peace and security. The situation in the Middle East is highly concerning. Major security challenges are also affecting other regions. And to promote peace and security all around the world.
In the same topic, the United States of America congratulated Algeria on its presidency of the UN Security Council for this January, considering it as a proof of its continuous leadership as a non-permanent member in its second year of its term, an achievement that will reinforce the joint efforts to overcome international challenges and to deepen the bilateral relations between both countries. Indeed, Algeria will assume the presidency of the United Nations Security Council, a major event that will mark its history, especially that it will advocate to prioritize African and Arab countries on the international scene. Minisa Kabash explains.
As a strong diplomatic force, Algeria will be presiding over the UN Security Council, an opportunity to showcase its leadership at the international stage and telling evidence of the trust they've put in it to represent the voice of Africa and Arab countries, especially with the ongoing world situation. knowing Algeria's principle when it comes to oppressed peoples. Algeria's position when it comes to the just Palestinian cause will remain the same, as it will work to voice the latest developments in the region and call for a just and lasting settlement to the conflict. Alongside this cause, there is also the situation in Libya, Syria, Yemen and Sudan, all facing thorny. Algeria will use its presidency to shed light on their situation and will call for peaceful and political solutions.
There is no doubt that this is an important event in this history of our relationship with the world, especially that this decision came after the Algerian representative spent a year in representing the Arab voice, the voice of Palestine, and a voice that denounced the Zionist entity. These missions taken up by Algeria must be supported by all Muslim, Arab and friendly delegations with the Security Council and the United Nations. Among the main reasons is to denounce the crimes of the Zionist occupier, help the Palestinian people, consolidate the role of the UN in Lebanon and put an end to violations of the Zionist entity committed in Lebanon.
Algeria will also prioritize the situation in Africa and promote the necessity to maintain peace and security in the continent.
Algeria will be facing a major challenge, which is making the voice of Africa heard in the Security Council. Algeria will support us by finding solutions to enhance peace and security. We expect highly from Algeria being the voice of Africa, and as a neutral state, Algeria is well known for supporting just causes. Its policy is well known as well regarding the oppressed.
Presiding over the Security Council will be a significant event for Algeria. It will indeed mark its history and hopefully make a positive impact on the world.
The Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad and African Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, held bilateral talks with his counterparts from the Republic of Tunisia, the Islamic Republic of Mauritania and the State of Libya. Talks in which the Minister of State extended his best wishes on the occasion of the New Year, wishing them health and well-being and further prosperity and progress. These exchanges enabled the presentation to brotherly Maghreb countries of the action plan of the Algerian presidency of the United Nations Security Council during January. Consulting with them on many issues of common interest, for their part, the foreign ministers of the brotherly Maghreb countries exchanged best wishes for the new year and expressed full support to Algeria on the occasion of its presidency of the Security Council, wishing it success in its noble mission in service of the Arab and African issues and peace and security globally, all while hailing Algeria's efforts from its position at the UN, notably in light of the international context characterized by the accumulation and escalation of polarizations and conflicts regionally and internationally. On to the latest MFA communique, through which Algeria denounced a tragic attack in New Orleans in the United States of America, claiming many lives and leaving behind many wounded. Algeria presents its sincere condolences and sympathy to their families, wishing the wounded a swift recovery. In the same respect, Algeria strongly condemned the heinous attack at a time when the world celebrated the New Year, expressing full solidarity with the friendly American people in this difficult ordeal, fully confident in its capability to overcome this crisis. During 2024, Algeria took huge steps in order to enhance the citizens' life, notably via social measures, including wages increase and upgrades in unemployment allowances, as well as free health care to cancer patients, measures which are part of the president's strategy aiming to put the citizen and his quality of life at the heart of the state's concern.
The pillars of the social pact under the banner of the new Algeria aim to meet society's ambitions for deep socio-economic transformations that strengthen social justice. For the fourth time, public sector employees will receive a salary increase of 75 index points effective this month. This measure is part of the president's strategy to boost the purchasing power of Algerians.
This increase is highly beneficial for us and will surely improve our daily lives.
A particular attention was given to retirees in 2024, with an increase of pensions from 10 to 15% in all categories, a measure that aimed to give back a part of their acquired rights after long years of service.
This increase will improve life quality for retirees. We thank the head of state for the decisions he took regarding pensions increase.
On the other hand, the unemployment allowance has also been upgraded, reaching 15,000 dinars per month. With health insurance included, this measure aims to further support job seekers in their quest.
I have been benefiting from unemployment allowance for 2 years before being able to find a stable job. Around 2 million people benefited from the unemployment allowance, in addition to training to facilitate their integration to the workforce, 34,000 of which were able to secure stable jobs.
In the health sector, cancer patients without social insurance are able now to acquire Shifa or insurance card, allowing them to benefit from free healthcare services and medicine.
I am jobless with no income, but since acquiring my Shifa card, I can finally buy the medicine I need. We have introduced a new generation of Shifa cards, now digitized and equipped with memory capable of storing up to 40 medical prescriptions. The National Equalization Fund for Social Works has allocated a budget of 30 billion dinars for the construction of rural housing.
To enable Algerians to travel abroad under better conditions, a substantial increase in tourist and Hajj or pilgrimage allowances is now in effect starting this year.
This decision will allow pilgrims to perform this religious ritual in the best conditions possible.
The year 2024 was marked by social reforms, concretizing the president's commitments as well as being a part of a strategy which puts the Algerian citizen at the heart of the state's priorities.
Coming up in our news. The Shia Park, a great potential of biodiversity and a good destination for winter holiday makers despite the biting cold. The repression of the Makhzen continues, trying to also silence the victims of the earthquake that happened in September 2023, who are still homeless, facing the cold, rain and snow with nothing but worn-out tents. Story by Melissa Lila Balaman.
Over a year later, the number of worn-out tents and affected habitations hasn't changed in Al-Hawz, and just as has been the daily life of the region, which has not seen improvement in living conditions, despite the 11 billion euros announced for the reconstruction of the 6 quake-hit provinces.
There's no improvement. People are still sleeping outside. We're living in tents. Are we animals? Aren't we Moroccans as well?
In this still stricken region, the inaction of the Makhzen regime is strongly felt under the snow and rain. The drop in temperature and isolation make things even more difficult for the victims of the earthquake. In addition to the institutional neglect, the repression by the regime against any protest continues. Nevertheless, voices are still heard, carrying the voice of the voiceless, who have not seen the 700 million euros the Makhzen claims to have given to the affected families.
هنا باش نقولوا واحد حاجة ضرورية.
We need an investigation on the allocated budget to the reconstruction of the zones stricken by the earthquake. Here no one has been compensated, be it the region of Ouarzazate, Teroudant, Al-Hawz, Jijawa.
In September 2023, the 6.8 magnitude earthquake killed 3,000 people and injured thousands. Around 60,000 buildings collapsed.
France's support for Morocco's autonomy plan of Western Sahara isn't shocking, but surely aroused anger among the international community. As modern and old colonial forces merge, the fate of Western Sahara remains unclear. One thing is sure, UN resolutions must be implemented to gain the right of the Sahrawi people to self-determination. Details with Melissa Kemesh.
ونحن نتطلع إلى إتمام الاستفتاء التأكيدي الذي ترعاه وتقوم على إجرائه منظمة الأمم المتحدة.
The main commitment taken up by the Moroccan king after the death of his father was the holding of a referendum to self-determination supervised by the United Nations for the benefit of the Sahrawi people. A commitment the regime betrayed to serve its own interests by occupying the Sahrawi territories. And to back this act and violate the international legality, the regime gained allies, namely France. The two countries surely share a colonial history and are well aware of ways and means to perfectly cooperate to merge their interests, especially that Morocco remains the only gate for France. The Moroccan regime is in fact trying to deceive the international community by adopting the autonomy plan over the region and exploiting several resources in a territory it claims to be its own by spreading false promises. Indeed, France's support isn't shocking and is considered by some analysts as a continuation of its colonial legacy. Falsifying the truth and consolidating this act only hinders the implementation of the right of the Sahrawi people to self-determination. And despite the desperate attempts to gain more allies, Germany, Italy and Portugal all refuse to be part of this modern colonization, widely criticized and refused by human rights defenders that demands an immediate implementation of UN resolutions for the benefit of the oppressed Sahrawi people.
The Sharia National Park, with its enchanting scenery and large biodiversity, never stops, amazing its visitors each time. A beautiful sight to add to your favorite destinations if you're looking for a good way to spend your weekend. Let's discover more about it with Melissa Balaman.
At an altitude of 1,550 meters, the Sharia National Park offers us a complete change of scenery for the weekend. Upon our arrival, the beauty of the mountains shrouded in mist fascinated us. An enchanting spectacle awaits us. With or without snow, this place continues to charm its visitors more and more during the holidays.
It is the first time we come to Sharia. I love it here. We come from Tipaza with our guests from Iran who are visiting Sharia for the first time. It is my first time visiting Sharia. I am fascinated by nature.
Extending over more than 26,000 hectares, this national park, located 50 kilometers southwest of Algiers, remains a favorite destination for adventure and discovery lovers.
It is beautiful here. I visit when I have free time and bring my son along to enjoy nature. Even with no snow, the nature here is beautiful. I am glad I got to visit this place.
The host of a large biodiversity, Sharia Park houses 816 species of flora, including 15 protected species, cedars, pines, aleppa, and more, along with a varied wildlife with the presence of 394 species, including 49 that are protected, eagles, monkeys, hyenas, and many more. This site is known for its green forests, but also for its calm atmosphere. Everyone gets their fair share of enjoyment: families, young people, sports enthusiasts, or simply nature lovers. We enter the woods, a breathtaking place that must be preserved.
Our country is absolutely beautiful, so we try to enjoy as much as possible. It was truly amazing.
Magnifique. 1, 2, 3. Viva l'Algérie! Merci.
With these beautiful scenes, we end tonight's bulletin. Thank you for watching. Take care.